November 19, 1941, a frozen forest outside Moscow. The temperature is minus 40 degrees. A German infantry squad creeps through snowdrifts, rifles frozen, breath crystallizing in the air. They are hunting a Soviet machine gun nest that has pinned down an entire company for 3 hours. Suddenly, a sound like canvas ripping at supersonic speed. Bert! 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 The snow in front of the Germans erupts in white geysers. Men drop. One soldier's helmet spins away like a coin. Another clutches his throat, blood steaming in the cold. In 8 seconds, the squad is gone. The Soviets never saw the gun. They only heard it. The weapon, Maschinengewehr 42. Rate of fire, 1,200 rounds per minute. Nickname, Hitler's Buzzsaw. To the Allies, the sound of death. This is the story of the gun that changed infantry combat forever, built in a factory that didn't exist 6 months earlier by workers who had never held a rifle using steel meant for kitchen pots. The MG-42 was not supposed to exist. In 1939, the German Army used the MG-34, beautiful, precise, expensive. It took 150 hours to machine one receiver. It cost 312 Reichsmarks, more than a Volkswagen. It jammed in mud. It overheated in Africa. It was a masterpiece for peacetime. By 1941, Germany was fighting on 3 fronts. The Wehrmacht needed 10,000 machine guns a month. The MG-34 factories could make 3,000. The order came from Hitler himself. I want a machine gun that any factory can build, any worker can assemble, any soldier can fire, and it must never stop. The contract went to Grossfuss AG, a company that made sheet metal lampshades. Dr. Werner Gruner was 34 years old. He had never designed a weapon. He was a tool and die engineer from Thuringia. His brief, use stamped steel, not machined. Use spot welding, not screws. Use roller bearings, not precision gears. Make it idiot-proof, make it fast. Gruner worked in a shed behind the lamp factory. No blueprints, just chalk on the floor. He built the first prototype in 6 weeks. The gun looked ugly, boxy, crude. The barrel jacket had holes punched in it like Swiss cheese. The buttstock was a bent pipe. The bipod folded like a deck chair. They tested it at Kummersdorf in January 1942. The range officer fired 1 burst. The target, a steel plate at 200 meters, was shredded. The gun didn't jam. The barrel glowed red, but didn't melt. The officer said, "It sounds like the devil-tearing sheet metal." They called it MG-42. Production began in May 1942. No new factories, no new machines, just repurposed assembly lines. Receiver, stamped in 4 pieces, spot welded in 30 seconds. Barrel, rolled from seamless tubing, chrome lined in 1 dip. Bolt, cast in 1 mold, no machining. Total parts, 63, MG-34 had 297. Assembly time, 7.5 hours, MG-34, 150. Cost, 250 Reichsmarks, MG-34, 312. By December 1942, Grossfuss was making 4,000 MG-42s a month. By 1943, 15,000 a month. By 1944, 400,000 total. More than all. Allied machine guns combined. The MG-42 was not just fast. It was designed to terrify. Cyclic rate, 1,200 by 500 RPM, adjustable with bolt weight. Effective range, 1,000 meters with tripod. Barrel change, 6 seconds. Pull latch, swap barrel, keep firing. Sound, 120 decibels, louder than a jackhammer. Muzzle flash, visible at night from 2 kilometers. A single MG-42 could suppress an entire platoon. 2 in crossfire could stop a company. The first Allied soldiers to face it were at El Alamein, October 1942. British Tommies advancing through minefields heard a sound like a giant zipper. Men fell in rows. No one saw the gun, just dust and blood. A captured British officer wrote, "It's not a machine gun, it's a hosepipe of lead." Normandy, June 6, 1944, Omaha Beach, Dog Green Sector. A U.S. Ranger Company lands at 0640. They hit the sand. Then the buzzsaw starts. Bert, Bert, Bertie. The first wave is cut down in 90 seconds. Bodies pile like cordwood. A survivor, Private John Barnes. "You didn't run, you didn't shoot, You just prayed the barrel would overheat. It didn't. The MG42 had one weakness: barrels. At 1,200 RPM, a barrel lasted 300 rounds, 15 seconds of continuous fire, but Germany solved it with genius. Every gun came with 3 spare barrels in a canvas case. Every squad had a barrel carrier, a private whose only job was to run with hot barrels. Barrels were preloaded with asbestos gloves. Change time, 6 seconds. American bar gunners needed 30 seconds to change a barrel and had none to spare. Hurtgen Forest, November 1944. U.S. 28th Infantry Division attacks Call Trail. German paratroopers with 2 MG-42s hold a ridge. They fire in 3-second bursts, enough to kill, not overheat. The Americans advance in human wave attacks. Sanu swallowed 200 casualties in 4 hours. The ridge is never taken. A German gunner, Hans Miller. We didn't aim, we just hosed the trees. They walked into it. The Allies tried to copy it. U.S. M1919, 500 RPM, too slow. British Bren, 500 RPM, elegant, useless. Soviet DP-28, 550 RPM, reliable, outclassed. The U.S. Ordnance Department tested a captured MG-42 in 1943. Report, superior in every way, cannot be reproduced with current tooling. They gave up. Battle of the Bulge, December 1944. Ardennes, snow, fog. A German Kampfgruppe with 6 MG-42s ambushes a U.S. convoy. 47 vehicles destroyed, 300 dead. Time elapsed, 12 minutes. An American sergeant, it was like the forest itself was shooting at us. The MG-42 was not invincible. Weight, 11.6 kg, heavy for 1 man. Ammunition, 50-round belts, ran out fast. Dust, open bolt collected sand in Africa. Winter, oil froze in Russia, but Germany adapted. Lafette, 42 tripod, turned it into a heavy MG, 2,000-meter range. MG-45 prototype, 1,800 RPM, too late. Drums, 250-round saddle drums for vehicles. Berlin, April 1945. Red Army assaults the Reichstag. Volkssturm boys, 16 years old, armed with MG-42s. They fire from rubble. 1 gun, 1 belt, 1 corner. Soviet infantry charge. They fall. The gunner is killed. Another boy grabs the gun. It keeps firing. A Soviet officer. We learned to fear the sound more than the bullet. By war's end, 450,000 MG-42s built. 1.5 billion rounds fired. Estimated kills, 500,000 plus Allied soldiers. Cost per gun, 250 RM, less than a winter coat. The Allies captured thousands. They kept them. The Yugoslav army used MG-42s until 1990. The German Bundeswehr still uses a variant, MG-3, in 2025. The MG-42 was not beautiful. It was not precise. It was not kind. It was democratic. Any factory, any worker, any soldier. It proved that in modern war, volume beats craftsmanship. The sound of the buzzsaw echoed from Moscow to Normandy. It was the soundtrack of the German infantry. It was the last thing thousands heard, and it was built by a lamp factory.